In the previous class, we have seen the structure of ovule, which is also called megasporangium. Integumented megasporangium. We have seen orthotropous ovule, anatropous ovule, inverted form of anatropous ovule. In this ovule, the central tissue is called sporogenous cell, which is named as nucellus, and this nucellus is covered integuments and there is a opening called micropyle. There is a basal part called chalaza. There is a funicle which is called stack. The process of formation of megaspores, megasporogenesis, we have seen in the last class. Out of the so many nucellus cells which are diploid in ploidy, one cell which is towards the micropyle, one nucellar cell which is towards the micropyle is differentiated or changed. Megaspore mother cell, which is also diploid. CET question. What is the difference between a nucellus cell and megaspore mother cell? Difference between a nucellus cell and a megaspore mother cell. Both are diploid. Is similarity. Both are diploid. Similarity. What is the difference? A megaspore mother cell is large in size. Megaspore mother cell, large in size. It has dense cytoplasm. So, when compared to a nucellus cell, a megaspore mother cell which is differentiated, changed, turned, transformed, it is large in size, it has dense cytoplasm, it has a prominent nucleus. So these are the three differentiating characters between a megaspore mother cell and a nucellus cell. Now this megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis. We have seen in the previous class. One meiosis is equal to 4 cells which are haploid. This is a diploid. After meiosis, which is called reductional division, they all be formed 4. So in the textbook, they have given first dyad of cells, next tetrad of cells. Meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Finally, These are the nucellar cells or nucellus tissue. And first meiosis or meiosis 1, two cells are formed which are called dyad. Next, 4 cells are formed. These are all nucellus. According to the textbook diagrams, or within a single megaspore mother cell, 4 cells are formed. 2 cells dyad, 4 cells tetrad. So with this, meiosis ends. Each and every one is called megaspore. Each and every one, each one is called megaspore, which is haploid. And all these are present here in the ovule. Here. Neat question. Generally, after meiosis, the megaspores are arranged in the ovule in a linear order, in a line. What is the shape of megaspores or tetrad of megaspores? The megaspore tetrad is having linear shape. All the 4 cells are megaspores, megaspore tetrad, linear in shape. Sir, why we are clearly mentioning that megaspore tetrad is linear in shape? Because the reference is in microsporangium in a pollen tetrad, in a pollen tetrad, microspores are generally arranged in the form of T-shaped. These are linear in shape, means I-shaped. The shape of the megaspore tetrad in a ovule megasporangium is linear in shape when compared to the shape of pollen tetrad, microspore tetrad in a microsporangium is generally and mostly T-shaped. Neat questions, my dear students. Now, there are 4 megaspores in a ovule. Out of these 4 megaspores, only 1 megaspore remains functional. Remaining 3 are degenerate, disintegrate, disappear, because of this is a type of development of embryo sac with a single megaspore, that is functional megaspore. In some other forms, general form, in some other form, 2 megaspores are functional, in some other 3 megaspores, in some other 4 megaspores are functional. Bisporic, trisporic, tetrasporic embryo sac. Here, out of the 4 megaspores, again, out of the 4 megaspores, this is towards micropyle, this is towards chalaza. So upper 3 degenerate. The lower one, that is the functional megaspore, it remains functional, which is present towards the chalaza. This is developing into a structure by taking food material from its nucellus tissues. From the nucellus tissues, this will take these 3 upper degenerate functional. That functional megaspore is haploid with cytoplasm and nucleus. This is called functional megaspore. In general questions, sir, regarding the ovule structure, CET questions. From where integuments are developed? Most generally asked understanding knowledge based question. From where integuments are developed in a ovule? The answer for this question is answer. So the integuments in this ovule, they were developed from the basal part. So chalaza is the region which is the base. Chalaza or base. This is the region from where these integuments will develop. And integuments will not completely surround the nucellus body. They will leave an opening called micropyle. The answer for this question, from where integuments are developed in a ovule, means integuments are developed from the chalaza or base of the ovule body. Now, sir, functional megaspore. This functional megaspore, in the previous class we have studied, it undergoes free nuclear mitotic divisions. So, one mitotic division or first mitotic division. When the nucleus of this megaspore undergoes mitosis, and free nuclear division means only nucleus divides. In general, mitotic division means nucleus divides, immediately cytoplasm divides. So nuclear division is called karyokinesis, cytoplasm division is called cytokinesis. Then cells will be formed. But here only Mitotic division here is nothing but free nuclear division. It means this nucleus only will divide, cytoplasm is not going to divide. Such a division is called free nuclear division. It means immediately cytokinesis will not occur, only karyokinesis occurs. Now, after first mitotic division or free nuclear division, what happens? This nucleus present in the functional megaspore, which is haploid, it divides into two. And these two nuclei will reach to opposite poles. It divides into two and they will reach to opposite poles. This condition of the megaspore is two nucleate condition. Two nucleate, NUCLEATE condition or stage. First mitotic division. Second mitotic division. Mitotic division 2. These two nuclei divide sequentially. Immediately, this also will divide, this also will divide. It forms a structure. It divides into two. It divides into two. So this is called four nucleate condition or four nucleate stage. What two nucleate, four nucleate? These are the various stages of embryo sac development or female gametophyte development. First one, two nuclei. Free nuclei, only karyokinesis, no cytokinesis, no cell wall formation. Karyokinesis, four nucleate. Third mitotic division. Third mitotic division. Four nuclei will become 8 nuclei. One becomes 2, one becomes 2, one becomes 2, 2. 8 nuclei. Stage or condition. So how many mitotic divisions are required? 3 mitotic divisions are required to become a 8 nucleate condition of embryo sac. Now this 8 nucleate condition, until this only free nuclear divisions, no cytoplasmic division, no cell wall formation, no cell formation, only nuclei are formed. Now this is organized into a fully developed or mature female gametophyte. How, sir? Out of the 4 nuclei at one pole, that is upper pole indicates that it is towards the micropyle. Here towards the chalaza. Upper pole, lower pole. From the upper pole, out of the 4 nuclei, 1 nuclei comes to the center. From the lower pole, out of the 4 nuclei, 1 nuclei will come to the center. The 3 nuclei present at the upper pole, 3 nuclei present at the lower pole. From upper pole 1 nucleus, from lower pole 1 nuclei, they are called polar nuclei, comes to the center. This side is micropylar end, micropylar end. But this one is chalazal end. So this is anterior side, this is posterior side in a ovule. In a ovule, anterior side, posterior. Anterior 3, which are megaspores, degenerate. Only posterior megaspore, which is towards chalaza, becomes functional. Now it undergoes various sequential divisions and finally organized into cell wall formation. Cell wall formation, cytokinesis. These three nuclei of the upper pole becomes a structure called egg apparatus. Egg apparatus. Egg apparatus consists of a central egg cell or oosphere. Egg cell or oosphere, and the two sides, lateral sides, synergids. Two synergids. Synergids are also called helper cells or cooperative cells. We will see what are these helper cells or cooperative cells. So, egg apparatus is made up of 3 cells after cell wall formation. Before that there were nuclei. Now these 3, central one is a large one, is called egg cell or oosphere. Beside, and by the sides of these central egg, 2 are there small, which are called synergids or helper cells or cooperative cells. The 3 nuclei on the lower side, that is chalazal end, organized into 3 cells of equal size. They are called antipodals. Antipodal cells. It was thought that they were providing some sort of nutrition to this embryo sac, and in general they were called vegetative cells. They will disappear at the time of fertilization. Vegetative. Antipodals, 3 cells. In the central part, the 2 nuclei are organized into polar nuclei, and gradually they will fuse together to form a large central cell. In this large central cell, 2 nuclei are present by the fusion of the 2 polar nuclei. By the fusion of the 2 polar nuclei, a single cell is formed, which is called central cell. So, in the central cell, 2 nuclei are present. Now, there are how many cells? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cells. In a embryo sac or in a female gametophyte, there are 7 cells. Out of these 7 cells, upper 3 are organized into egg apparatus, lower 3 are organized into antipodals, and the central cell consists of binucleate condition. Uninucleate, Single nucleus, single nucleus, single nucleus, single nucleus, single nucleus, single cell, single cell, single cell, single cell, single cell, single cell. This is also single cell, but two nuclei, binucleate. It is also called fusion nucleus. It is also called secondary nucleus. Secondary nucleus. 7 cells are there, but how many nuclei are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 nuclei are 8 nucleated. So in angiosperms, the female gametophyte, in angiosperms, the female gametophyte is nothing but 7-celled 8 nucleated structure. 7-celled 8 nucleated structure. And this 7-celled 8 nucleated structure is developed from a single functional megaspore. So, in angiosperms, female gametophyte or embryo sac is called monosporic embryo sac. What do you understand by monosporic embryo sac? Monosporic embryo sac is a characteristic feature of angiosperms where if an embryo sac is developed from a single functional megaspore, embryo sac is developed from a single functional megaspore. If any embryo sac develops from a single functional megaspore, such embryo sac is called monosporic embryo sac development. Monosporic embryo sac development. CET question. Where do you find and who observed this for the first time? Monosporic embryo sac. Monosporic embryo sac. They may ask either in CET or NEET. Monosporic embryo sac development. First studied in a plant Polygonum divaricatum. Polygonum. Polygonum. Polygonum divaricatum. Simply, we can call this as polygonum type of embryo sac development. Simply, polygonum type. What is polygonum type? Development of embryo sac from a single functional megaspore, monosporic embryo sac development. And it was first first observed by Strasburger. Strasburger was the scientist who studied this for the first time in a plant called Polygonum. So it was considered as Polygonum type of embryo sac development or monosporic embryo sac development. Question, neat understanding oriented question. What is meant by functional megaspore, or what do you understand by functional megaspore, or what is the significance of functional megaspore? Based upon the type of question, how they are going to create a question, we have to understand. So what various types of questions they may create, various teachers, various types of questions, but answer will be single answer will be correct out of 4, or out of multiple selection type they will ask A, B, C, D. Again 1, 2, 3, 4. In the first one A and C only are correct, second one A and B only are correct, third one C and D only are correct, fourth one except D all are incorrect. They can ask any question. So the concept is, what do you understand by functional megaspore? Functional megaspore is the first cell of female gametophyte. Functional megaspore or megaspore is the first cell of. Answer, it is the first cell of female gametophyte. Or embryo sac. Then another question, what is the last cell of female gametophyte? In a female gametophyte, what is the last cell which is responsible for something? Egg or female gamete is the last cell of female gametophyte, which is responsible to fuse with the male gametes of the microsporangium or stamen or androecium or pollen grain, 2 male gametes in the previous class. So the last cell of female gametophyte is egg cell. Now let us see in detail about these. What are these egg cell? What are these synergies? What is this central? What are these antipodals? 7 cell, 8 nucleate. Characteristic features of egg apparatus. First one, egg cell, it is the female gamete. Elongated, large in the egg apparatus. So, out of the 3 cells in the egg apparatus, large cell is called egg cell or oosphere, which is called female gamete. It is responsible for fertilization. But on either side of the egg, on either side of the egg, which are called synergids. Diagram. These synergids are always egg apparatus located towards the micropylar region. These synergids, they consist of finger-like structures. Synergids consist of finger-like structures, finger-like projections. These finger-like projections present in the synergids on either side of the egg cell are called filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus. Sir, what is the function of this filiform apparatus? What is the role of the egg as a female gamete? It undergoes fertilization to mix with the male gametes. And what are these synergids? These synergids are called helper cells. These synergids are called cooperative cells. Why they were called cooperative cells or helper cells? Because they help in the process of fertilization. How, sir? How they are going to help in the process of fertilization? Let us see this. So, this is carpellar pistil, stigma, style, ovary, inside the ovary, ovule, inside the ovary, ovule, embryo, sac or female gametophyte. This female gametophyte or embryo sac, I want to show in as a large structure. Here our so-called egg, here our so-called synergids with filiform apparatus, opposite antipodals, central cell. Now, whenever a pollen grain or male gametophyte lands on the stigma, it germinates by intine. Intine will come like in the form of a tube. This is called pollen tube. This pollen tube is going to carry 2 male gametes. 2 male gametes. Pollen tube carrying two male gametes. Why it is carrying? Because male gametes are non-motile. Male gametes are not able to move like bryophytes or pteridophytes or gymnosperms. So in angiosperms, male gametes are non-motile. That's why it is compulsory to carry them towards female gamete. And when this pollen tube is moving, from here afterward it can go like this. It can go like this. It can go like this. Or how it will go? Who is directing it? Only come to the female gametophyte or embryo sac? This is the question. Here, synergids, which are having filiform apparatus, they will release some chemical substances at micropylar region here. Chemicals, maybe sugar substances, maybe acids, some chemical substances they will release here. Due to the chemical substances which are like, for an ant, sugar, if you keep sugar here, ant will go there. Or flies will go there. Like that, this pollen tube, the direction of growth of the pollen tube towards only micropyle is guided by filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus is guiding the direction of pollen tube growth towards micropyle. Towards micropyle, where egg is situated. So the significance of synergids is they were having filiform apparatus, finger-like projections, and they will release some chemical substances. Because of these chemical substances, pollen tube is growing toward the, even though if it goes like this, or even though it goes like this, finally it has to enter into a ovule or into a embryo sac through the micropylar region where egg apparatus is situated, or and our synergids with filiform apparatus is situated. So filiform apparatus is directing the direction of movement of the pollen tube. Now, what is central cells are? It is the biggest cell in the total female gametophyte or embryo sac. Central cell, largest in embryo sac. It is formed by the fusion of two polar nuclei. So, when a central cell is formed by the fusion of two polar, upper polar nucleus and lower polar nuclei, it is binucleate. It forms a wall and becomes central cell. It is also called, because of two nuclei, secondary nucleus. It is how it is formed by the fusion of two nucleus. So it is called fusion nucleus. Fusion nucleus, secondary nucleus, or central cell. Now last one, antipodals. Just antipodals are called vegetative cells. Vegetative means they were compulsory for the body, as a matter of fact, body cells as a structure. structural components, but they were not having any importance, and it was thought that they may supply food material before, at the time of fertilization, just before the fertilization or after the fertilization, they will degenerate. Antipodals, vegetative cells, short living. Short living means ephemerals. Ephemerals, they will disintegrate or disappear or degenerate just at the time of fertilization or after fertilization. Degenerate. So, structure of monosporic embryo sac or female gametophyte. Now, let us see in the male reproductive part, that is androecium or stamen, in the stamen, anther, in the anther. In anther, male. What are male in anther? Pollen grains are which are developed into male gametophytes, and a male gametophyte consists of two male gametes. In the pistil or in the ovary, inside the ovule, in the pistil, inside the ovary or inside the ovule, in the form of embryo sac, in ovule, female or gametophyte or embryo sac. Is ready. So, male sex organ, that are male gametes are ready. Female or embryo sac, female gametophyte, or one female gamete called egg is ready. Associated with this, one central cell or secondary nucleus is ready. So, what are the questions? CET questions. What are the ephemeral structures? What are the ephemeral structures present in the female gametophyte? We have seen antipodals are the ephemeral structures. What are ephemerals? Which are short living. What is short living? They will degenerate. They are of no use in the process of fertilization for further formation. And in the same way, finger-like projections producing synergids. Synergids also, their work, their duty is ended when they will direct the entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac. Once a pollen tube enters, it will spoil one synergid. Amele second synergid also degenerate. So, synergids are the cells which are called ephemerals, are short living, or they will degenerate after fertilization. They will degenerate after fertilization. Now, describe the characteristic features of pollen grain or male gametophyte. Or to draw that complete story: microsporogenesis, microspore formation, pollen tetrad. Pollen tetrads are developed into partially developed male gametophyte, that is pollen grain, complete developed male gametophyte, that is having two male gametes. Now, in ovule, that is in carpel or pistil, in the ovary, in the ovule integumented megasporangium, embryo sac formation. Here and here, neat questions are 2 or 3 neat questions. Let us see. Total, how many number of total how many number of meiotic and mitotic divisions are required for the formation of total how many number of meiotic and mitotic divisions respectively are required for the formation of one male gametophyte and one female gametophyte. One male gametophyte, one female gametophyte. Last class we have seen one male gametophyte means one pollen grain with two male gametes. How many meiosis? One meiosis, two mitosis. For this, one female gametophyte. Female gametophyte means embryo sac. In female gametophyte, how many meiosis? Only one meiosis. Out of one meiosis, 4. Out of 4, upper 3 disintegrate. So one meiosis is equal to one female gametophyte. One meiosis. How many mitotic divisions? 3 mitotic divisions. So total 2 meiosis, 5 mitotic divisions. 2 plus 3, 5 mitotic divisions. 1 plus 1, 2 meiotic divisions for the formation of one male gametophyte, that is pollen grain, for the formation of one female gametophyte, that is embryo sac. Neat question. We'll see in the next class. So important precaution is, whenever you are going to prepare from the beginning, from the first topic, read textbook thoroughly. One time or two times, compare that textbook knowledge with the reference notes. All the best.